a better world. Your interest is not just free Palestine. I mean, there are more people dying in Nigeria than are dying in Palestine. I can tell you that last year alone, over 500,000 Christians were killed in Nigeria just in 1 year. And nobody's protesting. The activists are not saying anything. For me, that's hypocrisy. In the north of Nigeria, Christians are being killed daily because the Islamic militants don't want Christians to exist in the north of Nigeria. They want to see a world where there are no Christians at all. And they want to conquer not just Nigeria, they want to conquer Africa, they want to conquer Europe, and they want to conquer America. The younger generation who want to live in a better world must speak out today. And I'm calling on all advocates of a free world to...
All right, guys, so we got...
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening. So that's just one of many people, not many, actually, not enough is the problem. People speaking up about this genocide that's been going on for years, the mass murder of Christians in Nigeria. And this came up again in the news recently because Bill Mayer, actually a leftist, or some say a centrist, I don't know, he's on the left for sure, progressive camp there. Even he came out and pointed out the hypocrisy of all this free Palestine when actually the genocide is worse, the genocide of Christians there. And even more than that, the fact that very few people, I mean, Christians, pointing this out for years about this genocide and happening in other places as well. But what the reason I'm making this video is because, of course, Harry and Meghan were all over Nigeria, and Meghan brags just last year, right, 2024. She bragged that she's 43% Nigerian. She's so proud. And her and Harry paraded around. This was March 2025. Always a resurfaced video. Posing for photographs. There was the quasi-royal tour. So Harry and Meghan have ever visited one country in Africa, and that was Nigeria. What do you make of that? Just Nigeria. Just the place where they have murdered, 500,000 Christians? Yeah, this was in May 2024. Just a little over a year ago, not long ago at all. And it was at this time that Harry and Meghan were there that the genocide has been at its worst in the past year. And articles like this from CNN came up. It just popped up at the top of the search when I did a search on articles of Harry and Meghan Nigeria. This is the top article that came up. CNN, Meghan visited Nigeria as a duchess and left an African princess. See, this is why no one listens to the mainstream media anymore, and they're all losing their jobs, and Katie Couric is interviewing all her former co-workers there from MSNBC or whatever. This is why. Garbage like this. No mention of the ongoing genocide. Of course, Harry and Meghan, it's so important to Harry and Meghan to use their platform to be humanitarians. And don't you know, and next week on October 9th, they're getting an award for being humanitarians. Project Healthy Minds and Katie Couric that I just covered the past two videos. So the humanitarians, Harry and Meghan, they're such humanitarians. They only go to one African country last year. Meghan brags to be Nigerian. And they don't even mention the ongoing mass murder of Christians there by Muslims. And not only do you have that, of course, and I mean, let's talk about the UK putting out commercials that I just posted a couple of videos ago where I say King Charles is trying to destroy Christianity, where they're having the police put out public service videos about UK policemen converting to Islam. How wonderful it is. Oh, everyone should just convert to Islam. So, and you've got, so this kind of shows how Harry and Meghan are working with King Charles. It's evidence to that direction for sure. Yeah. Hi, Lady of the Lake. Hi, Tiger Eye, Tracy, Judy. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done a live in a while, and it's the last day of the month. I said, let me just do a live. It's been a while. I just want to sit live with you all. And I was just watching a Scam Jam video. I like Scam Jam, you know that. He's very good. And he was talking about Meghan recently wearing a moon ring and how a psychic told Meghan that she was going to be a head of state one day, but didn't say exactly what. And so that's why Meghan has in her head that she may be president or queen. Can't decide. That's Meghan's conundrum, figuring out whether she's going to be queen or president of the United States. But she's with such evil globalists, Satanists. Obvious, that you can laugh all you want, but they got Biden in there, and he was brain dead, so they could put anybody. They could put Kermit the Frog in there, if they wanted to. Yeah, someone is promoting and paying for the award. It's a joke. Yeah, a satanic joke. But what's even more astounding is just last year, the worst of the genocide happening. Meghan and Harry were traipsing around Nigeria pretending to be heads of state, right? Because Harry was inspecting their military there. They had all formal, and Meghan's walking around half dressed in a Muslim country. Yeah, and Christians are getting killed all over the place, but Meghan's all laughing, smiling, with the vein in her forehead throbbing out. Yeah. Even that picture that TRG uses for the censorship complex, the circle with all the things around it. That was a picture of Meghan from Nigeria with that big vein in her forehead popping out. Wow, she's not aging well. Anyhow, but I want to know, why isn't Megalodon speaking out about that genocide? If she's such a humanitarian, didn't you know that Meghan's been a humanitarian for decades now? But Harry and Meghan had nothing to say. Complete radio silence while Christians are being murdered in Nigeria. That Meghan brags about allegedly being 43%. She's so proud to be Nigerian, and being part of a country that's genociding Christians, and the Muslims are taking over the UK. And King Charles is fully supportive of it. Obviously, he's made that quite clear with his actions. So I'm just wondering, why didn't Meghan bring up the genocide of the Christians in Nigeria, Miss Humanitarian, getting a humanitarian award on October 9th, Katie Couric? Yeah, why didn't Meghan bring that up? Why is it? You didn't even mention it. Didn't even bring it up. Miss Humanitarian. She's so concerned about people, don't you know? She just loves people, cares. She's a humanitarian. Yeah, but she has nothing to say. People being murdered all over the place. And loving being in a country that's murdering Christians like that. Well, this just fell out. I got house. I got feather. And ear. A silence there, not hearing a thing. It's like most important what they don't say, right? Seems to be the thing with these people, globalists, Pentacle. It seems to be paying most attention to the images and the sign language they use, the symbols, right? Speaking of symbols, you have the Ankh symbol and water. But it's most important what they're not saying to pay attention to. The silence is deafening, as they say. The fact that Harry and Meghan have never addressed the fake pregnancies or any other their lies they told on Oprah. There's a lot they don't talk about, right? They never talk about, not too much. They never talk about certain things. It's verboten. It's never spoken of, right? Ooh, poison. Death there with a skull and crossbones on it. Why didn't Meghan ever speak about it? Boots on the grounds. Meghan with her boots on the ground. And one last card. Arrow. Oh, the arrow. Poison arrow there. Yeah. So let's see here. Now yeah. I was just thinking the Egyptian goddess of justice. She weighs the soul against a feather, I believe. And it's sort of a connotation, a bit of death, and speaking to the dead. A lot of people dying in Nigeria, and Harry and Meghan apparently couldn't care less. But they want to talk nonstop about his dead mother, though. Harry is making a documentary, according to Crazy Days and Nights. He wants to talk to everybody who ever met his mother, including Kevin Costner. They're obsessed with death. And what parading around his cemeteries. Harry's visiting memorials in the Ukraine, but they have nothing to say about a genocide when they were in Africa. I didn't see Harry traipsing through any Christian cemeteries. Probably aren't any because they probably, I don't know what they did with the bodies, but yeah. So the first card, the house, it's about having a sense of personal identity, family stability, safe place. So for the family, for the royal family there, I'm asking why Meghan never talks about the genocide or while she was there last year or to present day. Never said a word about it. Mm-mm. And the feather is a spiritual ascension. So the spirituality of the family. We all know what the spirituality of the royal family is. Just saying. It's no mystery about King Charles. Antichrist, a message from beyond, a gift from above, reverence. So I'm taking this as spirituality, spiritual message from, I think Harry and Meghan were sending a spiritual message from Charles, King Charles, in their fake royal tour in Nigeria of approval there, apparently. Harry paraded again. Harry was treated as a head of state. He was inspecting their military. And it does seem like it was an unspoken message from King Charles, who we all know loves Islam. The ear, hearing news, listening to others, listening to the silence, being aware of what's not said with the ear, excuse me. And then we have the pentacle. Pentacle can be seen as, upside down, is a satanic devil horns kind of symbol, but upright. Now, this actually, in this deck, this stands for humanity, the sum of a lifetime, material gain. hmm I think King Charles is sending a message without saying it through Harry and Meghan's visit to Nigeria. And it was the silence, people to hear the silence from him. I don't think King Charles ever said anything about Harry and Meghan in Nigeria, right? He didn't disapprove. He didn't say they don't represent me. They didn't say a word. It was complete silence. He pretended like he had nothing to do with it. And the usual excuse is, they don't say any, King Charles doesn't say anything because it'll just create more wrath and back and forth. But I think that's just an excuse. Obviously, if Harry's visiting an African country pretending to be a head of state, he should have at least said he's not representing me. Ankh is secret knowledge, life, increased awareness, and exalted power. So I do think that there's power in, like, blood is the currency of the Satanists. So this genocide is empowering the Satanists when they spill the blood. And that's why, before someone becomes famous in Hollywood, usually there's a sacrifice of a family member or friend or something, because that gives them power. So there's power from these genocides, and it's empowering the royal family and the Muslims to take over the Western world, not just the UK, Europe, and of course, they also want this country as well, Canada and the US. They just want to take over and, move in that direction. And that is happening. I mean, if you go to middle America and was it Michigan, it's like all Muslim and all that had taken over there pretty much. Seems that way anyways. 18, water, purity, change, life, subconscious thoughts, and mysterious feelings. So again, I get the idea of spirituality with the water and of course about life and the subconscious, the silent messaging here. Because none of this is said outward. It's all spiritual. It's all to affect our subconscious as well. A lot of what these Satanists do with the mainstream media and their movies and their predictive programming, and Meghan and Harry and their, neurolinguistic way of speaking, neurolinguistic programming. So this is all part of it. They want you to see Harry and Meghan having the time of their life in Nigeria while at the same time hearing about the genocide of hundreds of thousands of Christians. So they want that imagery to affect everybody's subconscious. Like, look, it's a good thing. It's wonderful. Megan's so proud to be from here. Uh-huh. Yeah, Harry needed Nigeria to include the Invictus for Meghan. Uh-huh. Need more people like Dr. Sophie. Yeah. He doesn't have a mind of his own. He can't think for himself. Well, people say that about Harry and Meghan, like, oh, they're just dumb, but I don't think so. I don't think they're dumb at all. I think they're very well orchestrated by a globalist globalist group with King Charles at the top. I mean, I think they're dumb, but they're not that dumb. This is all orchestrated. Yeah. I already know he would lose his African charities before they went to Nigeria. So then this makes sense. You keep getting the ear in the Mildred cards. Yeah, I get the ear a lot. And now this time I'm getting, it's like the unspoken message. What do you hear? What are they saying about humanity? The humanity card. Unspoken spiritual message from family here of power over life, over people's subconscious. The witch work they're doing, the sorcery, poison. They're poisoning everything, right? They're poisoning the water. They're poisoning the shots. They're poisoning the foods, poisoning the sky, and poisoning people's minds with this PR of hell. You know, I mean, this programming they're doing, even online. You know, I had to stop using the Internet Explorer because every time I opened a new window, I'd be assaulted, visually assaulted with nonstop news from about the royal family or some other nonsense I couldn't care less about. So I switched to a Brave browser now. I'm much happier. You open it up, it's just a pretty picture with a search engine. That's all I want is a search engine. I don't want this echo chamber news of Harry and Meghan all the time. I mean, I was getting breaking news. Harry and Meghan do this or that. I mean, it's completely insane how they're psychologically affecting us. They call it ephemeral influence. So yeah, it's just assaulting us mentally, emotionally. So to be aware of it, because everything they're doing, a lot of what they're doing with their sorcery and witchcraft is unspoken. Unspoken. You have to have your listen to what's not being said. Yeah, and and what it says about how silent King Charles is about all the attacks on girls in the UK by let's face it, by the grooming gangs and everything else. So let me finish here. So 45, poison is accepting something harmful. Because they want you to accept this destruction. This is destruction, toxic people. They want you, so this is poison. They want you to accept the poison by spiritually conditioning you to seeing the genocide as a good thing. And that's a good thing that the Christians are all going to get killed, according to the royal family, King Charles and Harry and Meghan. That's the unspoken message here that they're saying without saying it, right? Boot is traveling and moving forward, preparing for action. So they're moving forward with their new world order, with their genocide of Christians, and they want you to accept that, like it's happening. That's it. Tough luck for you. They're taking over, and King Charles supports it, and Harry and Meghan support it, obviously. And the last one is setting goals. The arrow is setting goals, success. They have been successful thus far. And sending messages. They're sending this message. They're sending this message to you that the troops are coming. Your replacement migration. You have to accept this poison. It's you're being consciously and unconsciously being groomed to either convert or die, because the police are all going to be Muslim soon, according to that commercial. They're all turning Muslim. They want you to accept it, accept this satanic. I mean, I'm taking right now because we know the spiritual belief of Harry and Meghan and King Charles. In my opinion, this power they have, this is exalted power over life. They're using their satanic spiritual messaging and pushing on humanity this poison and saying, this is how it is now. We're attacking with our troops and we're moving forward successfully. We have been and we continue to move forward. I mean, look how the mainstream media covers for Meghan and Harry and their trip to Nigeria. They don't question her 43% statement that's never been verified in any way, shape, or form. Um, even that her fake mother, Doria, if that's her real mother, never claimed that. Um, yeah, and they just keep going forward. Nobody, and CNN says, "Oh, Meghan, she goes there as a duchess, and now she's a princess. She's an African princess. Take that, Kate Middleton." Right? I mean, it's that's what they're focused on. They're not focused on the genocide. I mean, I wonder if Harry and Meghan like killed some Christians while they were there. Maybe they sat back and watched some slaughters. I wouldn't doubt it. How much you want to make a bet they were there to witness some murders? They probably cheered them on. Yeah, you block everything Facebook about them. Yeah, I can't stand seeing garbage from them anymore. It's just all the PR lies and nonsense they put up. It's awful. It's awful. Yeah. December's coming up. It'll be interesting. The house says about that. Yeah. Well, I know they seem to be working together. I don't know. That's what I'm getting here because they're both killing. They both seem to want Christians all dead, and they certainly both seem to want to destroy the Western world and a Christian world based on Christianity. So I think it's quite clear. This makes it very quite clear when you look at it spiritually. I mean, of course, Megalodon still wants to be queen, which would mean that she'd have to get William and Catherine out of the way, right? So she's not above doing that too, So evil doesn't stop at one, religion or one or one thing, right? Just keeps getting growing and growing, and they're getting a lot. The royal family and Harry and Meghan, you wonder where they're getting their sorcery, witchcraft power from. I think it's from the Christians that were murdered. I think Harry and Meghan somehow did some ceremonies and are getting some of the power from the sacrifices of Christians, massive numbers of sacrifices of Christians in Nigeria. I think that's giving exalted power and protecting Harry and Meghan, and getting away with what they're getting away with, everything. Wow. So let's see. Let's take a look at the tarot deck. And we get some more ideas. Why does Megalodon never speaks up? Never spoke up, never speaks up, never says a word, even though everybody knows and knew that this genocide is going on in Nigeria of Christians and everything else. So what's her attitude? Does Megan just not care? She just like, it's about me and looking good. I couldn't care about anyone getting killed. Or is this, she's getting satanic power from this? Yeah, why she never spoke out about this with her trips there and bragging to be, again, 43% Nigerian, just bragging about it? Not just African, but Nigerian, just specifically Nigerian, the place where the most Christians are being killed. Let's find out. Let's kind of focusing on her trip while she was there, like why she went there, really. Of all places to go to get her, pretend to be a fake royal there. It's by Boko Haram as the Muslim group doing all these killings. So I'm gonna look at how Boko Haram affects Megan, how she sees Boko Haram. Oh, look at that. Ooh. Yeah, this is the Page of Swords, just came out. Reversed. It was like a bunch of lies. Everything they do is lies, lies, lies. Attacks of young people. What, Megan, think about this? All right. You have shuffled enough? Yes. Let's split the deck and find out. How does Meghan Markle feel about all the genocide of Christians in Nigeria? Why did she go there, really? Why? Let's see what the cards show. Okay, so the first card out. Oh, the hangman. Have to get used to them. They're written in French. Le pendu. Yes, the hangman here. Major arcana. Well, we all know that the hangman is the traitor. And in this particular case, the hangman's sort of doing his little act here. He's like performing, right? He's like, look at me. Look at my twisted body. She's really gross in those outfits she was wearing. I mean, she's so anorexic. She was like a skeleton prancing around there, half dressed skeleton. Yeah. Yeah. So she was there to literally hang out. I mean, they're just hanging up there, up in the sky. That was Harry and Meghan. They were just there. Her attitude about going there was she wanted to go there and hang out and be in an elevated position because you see he's high up in the air and he's doing his little acrobatics. So that's Meghan. This was her big platform for her to play the victim and also dance up there in the air above everyone. And then crossing her, ooh, 6 of swords reversed. Yeah, so 6 of swords. Of course, upright could be, traveling and moving forward in a positive, calm way. But of course, that's not what Harry and Meghan do. Nothing they do. They want to go back and stir the shizzle. They want to prevent things moving forward in a positive way for people and for information. And I think that I say this is kind of an international card. So she wanted to create an international upheaval of news. And of course, she wanted people to see her as very important, as an African princess. That's why it was so important to her, me, let everyone see her as an African princess. Even though people in Africa, I remember there's quite a few shows, people, their podcasts there, who are laughing at Meghan with her white baby in South Africa, claiming it's like Meghan's claiming to be African, and she looks whiter than white. So here we go, the bottom of it all. She, like I always say, she's a middle aged white woman, especially to Africans. So Meghan goes back there to really shove it there and say, no, 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 I'm African. She really doesn't look African. No one, she didn't say anything, no one knew she was African. So I've got the Queen of Coins reversed. Yeah, Queen of Coins reversed. I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she only marries white men, wealthy white men. She only has white friends. But she's African princess, yo. I mean, yeah, it's just everything that woman does is so ridiculous. What's the basis of her going there? Oh, the Hermit reversed. Wow. I think she also wanted to make Harriet look bad and come out of hiding. I could look at it that both, but of course you get the snake in this one. Uh, and having it reversed, put the snake at the top. So her and Harry are being evil here. It was to boost Harry up because, Harry is not treated anywhere like he's an important royal. But if you go to a poor African country, Harry gets treated important and he gets to parade around like a head of state. So the main impetus of this trip is Harry, not Meghan. It was mainly Harry's wanting to, uh, you know, prance around and be treated like he was important. Because I guess he's not getting that in California. Yeah, we know that. So he goes to Africa where he knows he's going to be treated. Him and his snake wife. This is Harry and his snake wife, and they go prance around like wannabe royals, fake royals, their fake royal tour. And that was the basis of them going, just being evil and being arrogant and wanting to appear more important than they really are. Yeah. Yeah. So what else prompted her to go on this trip? Uh-huh. Page of Swords again. This popped out earlier. She also wanted maybe to have this to brag about her children as well, or to lie to them about their ancestry and to Remember, she didn't bring the children. Remember, everyone was saying, why didn't she bring the children? Right? That was also a big one. Of course, Page of Swords reverse is also about starting fights and gossip and just being nasty, spreading lies. And yeah, this was an opportunity to attack people via the press and overwhelm the media with her nonsense, her hanging up here like she's something important, hanging out, stirring up the trouble with what has been over here. So it was to get people talking and gossiping and criticizing so then she could turn around and claim to be the most bullied person in the world, which she's not. Yeah. The 43% Nigerian story originated with another YouTube, really. So somebody made it up on YouTube and she took it. Wouldn't surprise me. She has to plagiarize. She has to steal. She never has any original thoughts in her head. Yeah. Yeah. So what was she expecting from this trip to Nigeria? Oh, look at that. Seven of Swords. Yeah, she was there to do some wheeling and dealing, making some connections there, some illegal connections perhaps, or she was there. You see this person, he's a thief. Meghan's a thief, I would say. She's a plagiarizer. She's a criminal. And she was there to see what she could get, see what kind of deal she could get out of it. Um, the fact that she would go so far as to lie in the press and claim she was 43% Nigerian, which is the start of this, right? So she started out with that to even boost her trip more and to trick them and trick the world. What she expected was to trick everybody about it. And of course, she's never proven it, right? She's never provided any proof of being of any proof of any DNA test or anything calling her Nigerian, which would never happen anyways. But so it was an opportunity to get the world stage and to pull another fake pregnancy, now 43% Nigerian lie, and get away with it, to show you how her and her globalist buddies control the mainstream media, and you're never going to hear anyone look into it or find out or question her about it. That and so many other things, right? Why the dog broke two legs. Why did the beagle break two legs in November of 2017 when Harry and Meghan got engaged? Well, we still don't know. She's never explained that. She's never been asked to explain that ever in any interview. In all the interviews that Harry and Meghan do, and all the podcasts and all the appearances, no one is allowed. This is how controlled it is. No one is allowed to ask why the dog broke two legs, how she could be bopping up and down with a fake belly bump, still claiming to be pregnant. How do you prove that? And allegedly giving, I think the birth to Archie was like 12 months after it was supposed to be or something. She kept changing the due date and all that, and this bump size. And now with the 43% Nigerian, et cetera, et cetera. She's pulling another one to incite people, to stir the shizzle, Six of Swords reverse, to stir things up. Swords, swords, swords. It was to attack people, to create, disharmony and get people arguing and lying in the media, manipulating the media. Yeah, it's all to be nasty. It's strategic, nasty, mind effery, to F with everyone's mind. That's what Meghan loves more than anything else. She loves messing with your minds. And she did that to her. Remember the Sussex Survivors Club, the people who work for Harry and Meghan, the personal assistants? Jason Knauf said that Meghan always had someone in her sights. She was always about really getting under the skin and effing with the minds of the people that work for her, really, playing mind games with them and abusing them. Well, she wants to do that. She's doing that to the whole world here. That's what Meghan's doing with this. Yeah. Yeah, it's for a headline, but it's also to F with you because you're never going to be able to prove otherwise. And she's not going to be able to prove, you're saying the 43% for a headline. Yeah, because she's going to make headlines and then she'll never provide any proof. And don't you dare ask for proof or you're racist. You see how the game goes? She's been playing it over and over and over again for the past 7 years nonstop. So anyways, what is she afraid of or not want? Oh, the lovers. Look at that. Well, she doesn't really love the Nigerians, I can tell you that. She wasn't there to become, move there. And Meghan Markle will never move to Nigeria, and she'll never do anything for the Nigerians. Has she done one thing for Nigeria since she's been back? No, we care less. So she doesn't. This is what she doesn't want. She doesn't want to be paired up with them. She wants to go around bragging. Remember how she treated the Nigerians at Invictus? Because after this little trip she took of murdering people, and by the way, swords is also violence. So I think she may have been there to watch some Christians being murdered. That wouldn't surprise me. Um, but she doesn't love the Nigerian people. Yeah, she didn't love Nigeria, and she doesn't want to be close with them. She's just using them for a photo op, like you said. It's just a place. Nigeria was just a place for her to hang out and do her little acrobatic act and have people look at her and then leave. That's all it was for her, quite obviously. So yeah, she really she doesn't. She'll probably never go back there again. She doesn't do anything with Nigerians or Nigeria. She never promotes anyone Nigerian. She's just full of it. She's just full of it. She couldn't care less about Nigeria. She probably hated every second there. So what she wouldn't eat the food. Remember, she wouldn't eat the food. People, everybody, everywhere you go, in their custom is they'll make you food, and she wouldn't eat anything. She wouldn't eat anything because she doesn't want anything to do with them. She couldn't care less about their culture of food any more than she cares about the UK culture of food. So what's she hoping for from this trip? Oh yeah, there you go. Uh-huh. Four of Cups reversed. Yeah, she was just looking to rile people up. She was just distracting. See, this is a distraction card. Have it reversed because it's, distracting secretively or excessively, getting people, getting to look at her parading around Nigeria. And there were other things that they were distracting you from, what the royal family was doing or in politics or whatnot. She was there distracting and upsetting people, but it's a minor arcana. So she wasn't, she wanted to upset people and distract them, but to look at her, look at me. So I don't think any major world event happened around that time that I recall. I don't know if any of you do. There was something the trip may have been distracting from. Yeah. Yeah, we're supposed to believe Doria is 86% Nigerian. Yeah. Let's see the proof. Let's see the DNA tests. I don't believe anything Harry and Meghan say, and neither should anyone. No one should believe anything they say. Not without official certified proof from 3 witnesses. Otherwise, you can't trust anything these 2 satanic clowns say. They're evil. Yeah. How does Meghan see Boko Haram? Boko Haram is the Muslim group that's murdering thousands upon thousands of Christians. How does Meghan see them? Oh, 10 of Wands. Well, she sees them doing a lot of work, and I think she admires them. I think that she sees them positives, upright. She's impressed with their work and wants them to continue. And she sees them as beneath her. I mean, I think Meghan is a very high up. The Sussex Squad, on one of the tweets that TRG showed with the Sussex Squad talking about Meghan, they called her the arch priestess. So she's very high. She seems to be a high up there Satanist with Hillary Clinton and the rest. So I think that she sees Boko Haram as like her foot soldiers. She definitely likes them. And she wants them to continue their work. Yes. So I think she is supportive of them, even though she's not going to say it out loud, or the royal family is not going to. You can see by what's happening in the UK and what King Charles is doing, how they feel about it. So what did Meghan do following this trip to Nigeria? What did she do next? Yeah, of course, she had her hand out for more USAID money and pretending like her and Harry are such victims of the royal family and not getting enough money for anything. So having her hand out, trying to get her Sussex Squad to raise money for her and whatnot. So she was out grifting as usual as soon as she came back from Nigeria. I think that she was looking to see what she could get from Nigeria. I think she saw, after she came back from Nigeria, there was this thing where Meghan was selling a purse, or some place was selling a purse from Nigeria where they pay the women like 18 cents a day, but they were selling the purse for like $1,000 or something. I think Meghan was looking into doing that. Or Meghan did do that. She got involved with something where she was using and abusing the poor women there in Nigeria in order to try to make thousands off of selling goods there that they made. And that was all exposed. It was one of the few things that actually got exposed. When Harry and Meghan start committing crimes against humanity in Africa, it does tend to come out in the news. Unlike in the Western world, if Harry and Meghan murdered a bunch of children, you'd never hear about it here. The news would cover for them. But in Africa, when Harry is abusive and sent to Bale, or with African parks, with the Baka people, the crimes against humanity, then they get exposed. So Meghan did get exposed for trying to use the poor people. This is like the poor people of Nigeria. She did try to use and abuse them to make, I think it was purses, if I remember correctly. It was like bags. Yeah. You said you're fixated on how Meghan will celebrate Christmas. You never see any celebration of Meghan with Christmas. You might get a Christmas card of Harry and Meghan wearing all black. The last Christmas card, they're wearing all black, and with the children, pretending to have children. Of course, all the backs of their heads and whatever. So she doesn't celebrate Christmas. This woman is a Satanist through and through. You've never seen anything about her celebrating Christmas ever. H has been pampered and allowed to get his own way for his life. He doesn't say anything wrong. He's a Satanist. He's evil, and he's drugged up, and he is just evil AF. Anything that supports his satanic family, and apparently destroying Christians, murdering Christians, and converting the Western world to Islam is what Harry is supporting with King Charles, is what's going on. And Harry and Meghan are both on board with it, quite obviously. So in the long term, long term's not looking good for Megalodon. I see her going down, down, down with a 10 of swords reversed. I think not only will she go down and be destroyed, and everything that she does be exposed for evil which she is, she's going to be paraded around, reversed. She's going to be held up and used as a cautionary tale. She's never going to live this down. She's not getting away with anything. You see all the claws of the birds coming at her. Yeah, she is. Yeah. And these are eagles, I believe. Eagles, American eagles. Huge ass American eagle up here, ready to grab and eat her there. Yeah, so Meghan is not getting away with this. I think that she is, her trickery, her nonsense, everybody hates her around the world, Africa and in the West. And I think that it's quite obvious how she is just a greedy gold digger, queen of coins reversed, trying to take advantage of poor people in Nigeria. And she is the furthest thing from a humanitarian as you can possibly get. And she actually used the backdrop of a country that's genociding Christians to promote herself and stir the shizzle and try to make money to get workers to sell bags for her and whatnot. She could not care less about Boko Haram murdering Christians. She could not care less. But at the same time, she's not going to move to Nigeria anytime soon. She couldn't really care less about them or anyone else. I mean, she's a narcissist, right? So, psychopath narcissist. She doesn't have any real ties there. So she's still evil, but I think that she may have gone there to watch some deaths. Like I said, she may have watched. They may have killed some Christians for her for display. I wouldn't put it past, because with all these swords, I'm getting 6 of swords, 7 of swords, Page of swords reversed, 10 of swords in the end. This is attacks. This is using lies and pushing out agendas and being manipulative and sinister and heartless, and also coordinated, strategic. And that brings us back to the spiritual message from the family here at home, what they're sending by sending Harry and Meghan, the unspoken, you don't hear the message, the unspoken message to humanity from the royal family, exalting their power with the blood that's shed, the blood that for them is currency. Yeah, and you can see the water, boots on the ground, right? Just like Meghan said, the first interview, she's got her boots on the ground. Why did Meghan say boots on the ground? I have my boots on the ground during an engagement interview. And next thing you know, Muslims are invading the country and killing people. So just the facts of what's going on. Coincidence, I suppose, but they want you to accept the poison, and they have been and continue to be very successful at it and will continue. So that is what I see for why Meghan has never spoken up about the genocide in Nigeria, even though she's been there, went on tour there. She's a very evil woman, and she's working with, I'm getting, with the royal family, the King Charles, on this agenda. And yeah, that's what I'm getting. She's evil AF for sure. Yes, Tiger Eye. It's Halloween month. Last day of September, and tomorrow that was officially October. Try to get all my Halloween cards out this month. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, I appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.